In my opinion, there's nothing worse
Nothing worse.
than getting that text, that email, that Slack message, that phone call from your client or your boss asking for a creative project to be done before the end of the day. Creativity is incredibly important, obviously. I think most people understand that the link between being a creator, creating content, there needs to be creativity. But the issue is productivity and creativity are often sitting at odds with each other. So today I'm going to give you 5 key tips on how to be more creative and to beat that creative block, even when you don't feel like it. My first top tip for overcoming creative block is to block out your day for brainstorming. When we have the opportunity, we don't give ourselves the time to be creative. Instead, it's task after task after task after task after task after task after task after. And we don't actually give ourselves time to brainstorm, to be creative, to have those moments where we think of new ideas, new cool concepts. In order to do that, it takes a little bit of foresight and a little bit of pre-planning. So sometimes, sure, you're going to get these moments with your boss or with clients when you're not going to have that extra time to block out space for brainstorming. But what that looks like is literally blocking out a space on your calendar, filling that in, just saying you're busy so you don't have any meetings, you don't have any previous obligations, and you're just completely dedicated to thinking of new ideas, new creative ways of approaching the project. You feel like you're under less of a time constraint to complete a certain amount of things in a certain amount of time. In order to allow yourself to be creative and to work well within this predefined brainstorming schedule, you're going to want to plan for some downtime. So that means just taking 5-10 minutes to just look at something creative. Allow yourself to become inspired by other people's creativity. The second tip I'm going to give is to remove all distractions if possible, especially when you're trying to be in the creative zone and allow yourself to be more creative. In that case, it's best to limit distractions. Put your phone away. Often what I do is just put it on the other side of the room, leave the buzzer on so I can hear if there's a text or a call. There's also apps if you're having trouble being distracted, such as Forest, that can help limit usage for certain apps. So if you need to use your phone for work still, then you won't become distracted. If you're on iPhone, you can also use the screen time feature. So there's definitely a bunch of different ways that can limit your screen time on your phone. One last thing I'll say about this, and I'm absolutely guilty of this, is it's good to be asynchronous in your communication. For me, when I get a message on Slack or an email, I feel this weight, this pressure, this undying desire to answer these people's questions. And if I don't do that, I'm afraid. I'm afraid what will happen? Will they like me? Will they remember me? Will they completely just shun me for the rest of my life because I didn't answer their question? They won't, thankfully. So it's important to remember that things can breathe. Yes, communication is instant now, but it's also okay to let things sit for a few minutes, to allow yourself to be creative without interruptions. The third tip I have is to distract yourself meaningfully. Go for a walk. Honestly, something like that, going for a walk, cleaning, doing something completely unrelated to work, just taking a step outside. It doesn't have to be for long. You're not killing time, but just allowing yourself to breathe. The amount of times where I would leave my computer, come back, and all of a sudden the creative block is cured. Another thing that I find helpful is if you want to continue to be productive, you got too much work, you don't have time to take a 2-minute walk or whatever, then just work on the most boring, mundane task that you have available to you. So often I'll take the time, if I need to fill out some sort of standard operating procedure, I'll fill that out because I'm creatively blocked. This is a completely different side of my brain. I'm just completely focusing in on procedures or numbers or something unrelated to creativity entirely. I'm being productive, but I'm using my lack of creativity in this moment to channel that into a different lane. The fourth tip I'm going to provide is to play with new tools. Try something totally new and different. I find that this is a huge way to relieve creative block. If I'm learning something new, if I'm learning a new way of animating a video, for instance, on After Effects, stuff like that will just allow your creativity to flow because it opens new possibilities for you to be creative. My fifth and final tip is going to be to draw inspiration from the art around you. And I know I've kind of already said this, so it's a bit of a cop-out, but I find myself very inspired by other people's creativity. So allowing myself to read a great book, to listen to an inspiring podcast, or listen to a great song is incredibly helpful. I'm a big cinephile, and watching a movie, a great movie that's super well crafted, it really inspires me to bring that into my own work. It allows you to just draw on these masters, these fantastic creators, and apply their own learning experiences onto your own work. And hey, maybe you can use a great monitoring tool like Agorapulse to engage with and to watch and to learn from other people's content, the very people that you're trying to create content for. How do you stay creative? What is it that you do to block out time for brainstorming? How do you beat creative block? I want to hear from you. Let us know down in the comments. And hey, don't forget to hit subscribe, because we got lots of new content coming. We got lots of experts delivering their thoughts, their opinions. We got Daryl Prale, we got Teresa Anderson, we got Stephanie Lee, we got Mike Alton, we got so many people. We got Jacob, okay? He's gonna answer all your product questions. Stay tuned, we got more coming. Thanks for watching.